McDonald's Corporation is one of the largest fast food companies in the world. Their founders are Richard McDonald and Maurice McDonald, born in New Hampshire, the US. Richard and Maurice McDonald migrated to California in the late 1920s, equipped with high school diplomas and a desire to make $1 million before they reached 50. In the 1940s, they opened a small drive-in barbecue restaurant in San Bernardino, a growing blue-collar city. Business was brisk. Yet, after a few years, the McDonald's became convinced that they could do better by doing things faster. McDonald's is more famous for its logo than its mouth-watering foods. This fast food brand is among the most valuable brands of the world, which is famously known as the Golden Arcs, look like the letter M. There are a lot of slogans of McDonald's that changes regularly, but the most popular one, which became a globally famous slogan of the company, is "I'm loving it." In the history of McDonald's, people, instead of waiting 30 minutes for their meal in other restaurants, they could afford hamburger for 15 cents, cheeseburgers for 19 cents. People just had to wait their offer for about 30 seconds. In the fall of 1948, they shut down their restaurant, dismissed the hair hobs, streamlined the menu, and began to reinvent the way they would deliver their food. By 1954, the McDonald's had sold more than 20 franchises and opened 9 outlets. At that time, Ray Kroc was a milkshake machine salesman who wasn't selling many machines except to the McDonald's. He traveled to San Bernardino to see why, and was so impressed that he asked for a job as their franchise agent. In 1955, Mr. Kroc founded the Franchise Realty Corporation and opened his first McDonald's restaurant in Des Plaines. In 1960, he changed the name to the McDonald's Corporation. A year later, he bought the business from Dick and Mac McDonald for $2.7 million. After the sale, Dick McDonald returned to his native New Hampshire. In 1961, Kroc launched a training program later called Hamburger University at a new McDonald's restaurant in Elk Grove Village, Illinois. There, franchisees were trained on the proper methods for running a successful McDonald's restaurant. Besides McDonald's, there are another fast food restaurants like Burger King and Wendy's. The service and design are changing approximately every 10 years. Unfortunately now, McDonald's is not the world's largest restaurant chain. That title goes to Subway. It has almost 45,000 locations compared to 7,000 to McDonald's. The company itself owns only 15% of them. Rest being franchised out the restaurant rent by company accounted of its revenue that is not the whole store. In 2014, for instance, company-operated stores generated $18.2 billion, but McDonald's got to keep only $2.9 billion. In comparison, out of $9.2 billion coming from franchisees, the company kept 7.6, standing 80%. So, even though McDonald's seems to be flipping burgers, in reality, they are planning a monopoly instead. The difference of McDonald's from other fast food chains are variety of menu and high quality of service that plays an essential role in Uzbekistan to become popular among residents. To establish McDonald's in Uzbekistan, we should have invested a big amount of money that comes back with profit of twice. The average McDonald's generates $2.5 million in sales annually, but it's not that easy to open one. You've got to have liquid assets of at least $750,000. Startup costs, which include construction and equipment expenses, can range from $956,000 to $2.2 million. The price depends on the location and size of the restaurant. Luckily, you only have to come up with 40% of the cash, the rest you can finance. In addition to startup costs, you'll have to pay a $45,000 franchise fee and an ongoing monthly service fee equal to 4% of gross sales. You will also have to pay rent to the company, which is usually about 8.5% of sales per month. McDonald's startup costs are similar to those of KFC, Wendy's, and Taco Bell. Subway, by comparison, is a lot cheaper. It will cost you between $116,000 and $263,000 to start one. It also requires much less in liquid assets. Chick-fil-A is also a lot cheaper than McDonald's. It will cost you $10,000 to open one, and there are no net worth requirements, but in return, you will have to give them half of your pre-tax profits. That's why McDonald's is the best choice to invest.